Well, I had one of my subscribers send a video to me and ask me what I thought. And after I got finished watching it, you know what it's about, right? It's about single moms out here griping and complaining because they can't get the quality of man that they want. And from what I can ascertain, is because none of these men want to raise another man's children.
Why do men have such a problem raising another man's child, but they don't have a problem with abandoning their own children? I think that's where, for me, I think that's where the disconnect, happens. Right? Because I'm like, you do realize that if there's a ton of women that are left with children and there's no man around, then the men created that situation, not the women, right? So why are men as a group, single men, I don't care, with or without children, right? Even most men have children, but with or without children, why are most men, or I'm sorry, let me stop. Most men don't have a problem with single mothers. They just try to shame single mothers because they actually want single mothers. This whole, like, I don't want to, like, this whole thing of not wanting to take care of another man's child, that has never been an issue for men. Men don't give a fuck about that, because the truth of the matter is men don't take care of children, whether it's their biological child or not. Listen to what I'm saying. Men don't give a fuck about children that are theirs or children that aren't biologically theirs. What men want is access to a woman's body. So the way that they get there is by taking care of the children, whatever way that is, financially or whatever the case may be, right? Participating sometimes in, I don't know, talking to the kids. I don't know what y'all be doing with y'all kids, because when I be watching dudes, they don't be doing shit. But however you show up for those kids, you do that. And men show up for the kids and they show up for the women for the sole purpose of having access to that woman, physically having access to that woman's labor, whatever the case may be. That's why men are doing that. Men do not, again, I can't stress this enough. Men don't give a fuck about taking care of kids. Men don't give a fuck about taking care of kids. I don't care how much y'all try to lie and sell us this lie that men care about taking care of kids. If we did, kids would be taken care of. That's how I know. So before y'all, how you know? You don't know every man. Then why aren't the kids taken care of then? How can you say in one breath that men don't want to take care of another man's child, but then say men want to take care of kids? Listen, men want to take care of kids is a general statement. Therefore, if most men, according to him, that are having this conversation, don't want to take care of another man's child, I can deduce from that men don't want to take care of kids based on what y'all are saying. Because y'all love to come for me and act like I be just making this shit up out of thin air. All in the comment section on this nigga video, it's a bunch of men agreeing with this stupid shit. Yeah, I mean, it ain't my responsibility to take care of another man's kids. Okay. So when I say men don't give a fuck about taking care of kids, no, public, I don't want to fucking hear it. I don't want to hear it. Because two things are happening. For this man to be able to make this statement, two things have to happen. One, men have to abandon the kids to begin with. Two, men have to not be interested in taking care of another man's kids. Boom. From that, I can come to the logical conclusion, men don't care about taking care of kids. Now, can we stop lying about that? Can we start telling the truth and acknowledging the reason why men even feign like they want to take care of kids is to gain access to a woman? That's it.
That's their prerogative. And then they're still trying to sell themselves out here, parade themselves out on the internet while they're saying they don't need a man. They're saying they don't need a man. But then they're up here almost literally in a subliminal way begging for a man to come and sweep them off their feet.
That's not what they're doing. If women are talking about the type of men they want to deal with, they're just saying, if I deal with a man, this is the type of man I want to deal with. They're not begging men to come deal with them, because y'all got to stop telling this lie again. Gentlemen, women can have men anytime they want to. I don't know how to tell y'all this. Women can be married tomorrow. Women can have a boyfriend tomorrow. Women can have a man just taking care of her kids tomorrow. That's not the question. The question is, how much abuse is that woman willing to put up with? The question is, can she have a good man take care of her kids and take care of her? And the answer to that, to the last question, is no, more than likely, because there's not enough good men out there. There's not enough good men out there, right? I'm gonna show you guys something real quick to make this point. Why do I say there's not enough good men? And y'all, shout out to Teresa for sharing this. Teresa's one of my mods on YouTube. So shout out to Teresa. She posted this clip. But anyways, this is why women struggle with finding decent men. Listen to this breakdown. This makes a lot of sense. And this is specifically about Black women, but you could apply this to men in general. But this is specifically about Black women. Whoever made this clip, they were talking about Black women specifically, right? And I'm a Black person. And most of the time when y'all be talking about baby mamas, y'all talking about Black women. But whatever, though. We so this could apply. This applies to Black women specifically, but whatever.
Married family households have lost their dominant place in American family structure. And while the drop in marriage rates has been felt by everyone, it has been much steeper for African Americans. In many of the biggest metropolitan areas in the U.S., unmarried young Black women significantly outnumber unmarried employed Black men in their age group. The rest of the Black men are either unemployed, in prison, in the military, no longer living, or already married. Looking at the rest of the metropolitan areas in the country, the pattern is pretty much the same. Black women have a greatly reduced number of eligible men to marry compared with women who are white. Black women also have very low intermarriage rates, so they have felt the squeeze even more seriously. And because Black women are less likely to marry than white women, more Black children grow up in single-mother households. And they're more likely to be poor than children with married parents because single-parent families tend to have lower incomes. So larger social forces, the economy, job discrimination, incarceration policies, and health disparities all impinge on the ability of individuals to shape their own family lives.
So for the men that don't understand what that clip was saying, Black women specifically don't have much to choose from. They don't have many good men to choose from. There aren't many good men out there. So if you are a single Black man right now, and you, especially if you're in your 30s, right? Maybe a younger, earlier 20s, whatever. But if you're a 30-plus-year-old Black man right now, right? You are probably not worth that woman's time. You may think you are, but you're probably not worth that woman's time. Just FYI. So when you guys get on the internet and start talking crazy out the side of your neck about single baby mamas and all of this shit, it's really a man problem at the end of the day. Like, it's like the reason why she's a single mother is because a man abandoned her. The reason why, she has the standard she has because how terrible men are. Like, the reason she's single, not aside from the fact that the man abandoned the child, but I'm saying that the reason why she can't find another man is because she can't find another good man. She can find another man. She can get with another man anytime she wants to. Can she find a viable candidate, a viable option? The answer is no. There's not enough good Black men specifically, but there's not enough good men in general. Even if she wanted to date out, even if she wanted to date a white man, based on the numbers, she probably could find a non-Black man. You know what I mean? But even then, though, there's just not enough good men to go around for all the women that exist, for white women, for Black women, because white women also want a good white man. Asian women also want a good Asian man, and Black women want a good Black man, but there are far less per capita decent Black men for Black women to be with. It's so wild when you that man, whoever made that clip, he don't seem like the people who made that, they don't seem like they have a reason to lie about this whatsoever. Talking about it from a scientific standpoint, from a socioeconomic standpoint, from a psychological standpoint, there are far less viable Black male candidates than there are other races and demographics of men. That's just the reality. I'm a Black man. I will wholeheartedly agree to that. That is not because, though, we are Black. That's not because, like, melanin makes you a worse person. We know that. That's not what we're saying. But in that video, they said, oh, because of these policies. And then, yes, of course, it is exacerbated within the Black community. Fine. But to the larger point, women don't have a lot of viable candidates in general, but Black women specifically don't have a lot of viable candidates because a lot of Black men aren't viable candidates. So before y'all get to hooting and hollering and talking about single baby mamas and all of that shit, look in the goddamn mirror. That's what I want you to do.
They saying, well, I'm the happiest and I'm healthiest and the wealthiest I ever been without a husband. And why are you on there downgrading and griping about men then? Just because I'm a single mom don't mean it's the end of the day. Hey, you don't get to make that choice. It depends on what man wants to wife you up. And I'm going to tell you, the problem today is that none of these women in this generation is the quality of our grandmothers. No, at least not.
When men say this, when they romanticize the women of the past and the men of the past, but when they romanticize the women of the past, when he said that none of these women are the quality of my grandmother, that's not what he meant, because your grandmama hated your granddaddy. What they're saying is that none of these women nowadays are as oppressed as my grandmother was. None of these women today are forced to stay with bum ass men like our grandmothers were. That's what and I know he don't know that because he's an idiot, but that's what he's really saying though. You think those women back in the day loved their men and they were of such high quality? They weren't. They were forced to stay there, bro. They were forced to stay there. This is what our grannies was going through.
The white women didn't want a lot of kids. So what'd they do?
Give them away. A 95-year-old woman said she killed her. She had that many, she didn't raise but two. So she killed them in childbirth. And so a lot of women had them. So we didn't have the most kids, so they had a lot of kids too. But they got rid of theirs in childbirth and said they were born dead.
There was a cover-up.
Yes. She told before she died she was old. She said, they said, how many kids you have? She said, I raised two. She said, but I was pregnant and had 19.
Because women then didn't have the right to say no to their husband.
No, I know.
And they weren't doing anything to prevent the pregnancy.
I know a pretty young woman that died in childbirth because she asked her husband. Doctor said he couldn't fix it, not to have no kids without her husband or sin. He wouldn't sign the paper. So 9 months later, she had another baby and she died, but the baby lived.
So it wasn't about, so there was a lot of things included with not having their rights. It was also...
You couldn't get no credit unless, and they were one messing the credit up.
The men were?
Yes. And a woman, a lot of women said they were glad they changed that law because they couldn't go get nothing on credit. They lost homes because they were depending on the man paying the bill. So they would pay bills and mess the credit up. But the woman, I know they would call me on my job. I said, I don't know anything about a gas station, this service station, never been there before. They want to make me pay it. Yeah.
So the men had all the power. All.
Donald Trump wanted back like that.
Men had all the power.
I'm listening to a granny talk about it. She younger than my grandma would have been right now, but close enough. She from that generation. Them the grannies you talking about, huh? She's and I'm not saying she don't got a lot of character. She has tons of character. But I'm saying y'all was acting like those women were like better women than the women. If she is basically saying, if I had the freedom that the women nowadays had, I wouldn't have done this shit either. Y'all, the reason why the women today are the way that they are is because of those grannies. Shout out to those grannies that told the women the truth, that opened up and was willing to stick their neck out there and talk and blow the whistle on these men and did the gossiping that all the men hated. You know how that whole concept of gossiping started was to shut women like her up. So they wouldn't be able to tell their story about how diabolical you niggas are, how diabolical you men are, right? That's what it was. So miss me with that romanticizing our grandmas and shit like that. Nah, bro. Tell the truth about our grannies. Our grannies suffered at the hands of our grandfathers, at the hands of this patriarchal system, exploiting their labor, using them as conduits for to have children and stuff like that. Birthing factories, didn't even see them as human beings. Still don't. Still don't. Look at what just happened with Adriana Smith. Rest in peace. Still don't. Talking about the women are nowadays and nothing like our grandmas because your granny couldn't say nothing. But if you listen to the grannies talk now, they damn sure are opening up their mouths now and talking about how terrible it was.
At least not mine. None of them. None of them. None of them at all. At least grandmama knew how to keep a man. Even if Papa was a rolling stone, they kept a man. And I'm telling you.
What did I say? What did I say? I said the only difference, the only thing that's stopping these women from having a good man, these women from having a man is how much abuse they willing to put up with. He is literally saying, even if your granny was getting abused, she would keep a man because she had to keep a man. You didn't hear what Granny just said? If she didn't have a man, she didn't have credit. She couldn't buy a car. She couldn't get a house. What the fuck are you talking about? And the man was impregnating the women to the tune of 19 times. So your granny didn't want them 12 kids, them 7 kids, them 8 kids. The fuck? Stop lying on y'all grandmas. Y'all doing y'all grandmas a disservice. One thing I ain't gonna never do is lie on my grandma. I ain't gonna never do it. My granddaddy still alive. My grandma dead and gone. The one thing I'm gonna make sure I always do is tell the story of how my granddaddy abandoned that woman. Damn near broke her, damn near destroyed her. I ain't about to sit here and cape for my dirty ass granddaddy. Fuck out of here. I'm gonna tell my grandmama story. I'm gonna tell my grandmama story until I die. That man abandoned that woman after he broke his back working. He broke his back. My grandma nursed that man back to health, and then when he got healthy enough to go back to work, he abandoned her and moved across town and married another woman. And then started a new family with the new woman, raised all them babies, and abandoned his 6 kids that he had with my grandma. So miss me with that shit. We not about to sit here and lie on our grandmamas. I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna allow y'all to do that either. That's wicked.
These women gonna die along with their cat. And then they asked me a question about this thing. So older women are called, if they're single, they're called cougars if they're out here on the hunt for younger men. And they say, well, I'm still attracted. So they had this one woman on there. She's 52 years old, never been married, and don't have any children. And I'm gonna tell you something right now, her status ain't gonna change no time soon either. So she done missed her childbearing years, chasing career. She don't even know. She says, well, I'm fulfilled. No, you ain't. No woman is fulfilled until she has a baby.
Projection. Lies. Yeah. A lot of people are. I was just talking to my wife about that the other day. I was saying how, like, if I with or without kids, I would feel fulfilled with or without children. That's me though, personally, as a man. I'm like, I don't, I love my babies. Obviously I love my kids, but if I didn't have kids, a lot of people feel like that. A lot of people, my purpose ain't to have children. I've never thought that was my purpose. Like, my purpose is to have kids, and then I ain't no fucking lemming. Like, I'm a human being. I'm a human being. There's tons of humans that's never had kids. George Washington Carver never had kids. He was awesome. He did great things. And I'm not comparing myself to George Washington Carver. I'm just saying I'll take a fraction of what that man did. If I'm a fraction of the man that George Washington Carver was, I'm good with that. I'll die happy. Langston Hughes never had no kids. You know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck? James Baldwin never had no kids. Why I gotta have kids? Like, why we all gotta have kids? Some people have kids, some people don't. They ain't the end of the fucking world. What are you talking about? Hella fulfilled without kids. You could be hella fulfilled without kids, fam. Stop lying.
They can try to sell you a bill of goods all they want. Well, I'm content. BS, BS, and BS again. There's no fulfillment until a woman fulfills the highest calling and highest role in the universe as a woman, which is mother.
Hey, why this dude got Bobby Brown jaw? Is that just me? I'm probably tripping. He got Bobby, but I'm watching that jaw distracted. He doing a lot of Bobby Browning.
So let them try to appease their wicked consciousness and all they want. Because if it wasn't so, then why do so many women, if they can't get pregnant, why they go to the doctors and look for everything, every scientific way they can to get pregnant and stuff?
Because that's them. Because that's their choice.
I mean, I'm 58 years old, and my east don't have any problem having a child. None
Yo, who?
whatsoever at all.
Me?
So it can't be the man. Can't be. I mean, I know many of y'all want to come up and argue with these modern day arguments, but y'all have to understand. Well, I draw my conclusions from the scriptures, from the Bible.
From the strippers? Oh, he said the scriptures. I thought he said the scrippers. Sound like he drawing his conclusions from the scripters.
It ain't never told me it was the man. It was the woman that was barren and already needed praying for. And I know, Pastor Dow, you're just cold-hearted and cruel. Listen, I know I rebuke within the gates. I know I'm hated, and I'm fine with that because the book.
Weaponizing religion to shame women and to control women is a tale as old as time. And this is one of the major reasons why I would never get back into the church. Y'all will never find me back in the church for this reason. I can't love women and be a part of the church. I don't feel like. As a man, I'm saying the women that are in the church, then you could be in the church, you could do that, and that's your own journey. I'm saying as a man, though, this is what it's gonna teach me. This is what it taught me. I remember this is some of the lessons it taught me. It taught me I was higher than a woman. I was supposed to be the head of a woman, and the woman was supposed to follow me and blah, 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 and all that stupid ass shit. And I refuse. I refuse to accept that as my doctrine for life. I'm not gonna do that. I'm never going back to that.
Already told me that's the way it's going to be, but I'm not going to change Yah's word and his truth for your opinion, for your sorry, low down, uninformed, schizophrenic opinion. But I'm telling you, men, y'all be well today, and to find y'all some old church holiness girl, and even at that you want to watch one that grew up wearing no makeup. And a lot of these women out here, and I looked at them too, they think they're so beautiful. Y'all men, what you need to do is tell these women, take the makeup off so I can see the real you. Take the makeup off so I can see the real you, then I'll determine how beautiful you are or not. And boy, you know they're afraid to do that because they're afraid to even look at themselves in the morning. So you know they ain't about to take that makeup off, because if they take that makeup off,
shave that beard off. Take that hat off and shave that beard off. I'll wait. I want to see. I'm curious. I don't care. I'm married. I don't give a fuck. I'm just curious since we on the subject. Shave the beard and take the hat off. Now, mind you, I think you look funny with the hat and the beard anyway. You got the slack jaw going on. You got the underbite. But I'm just saying though, I will assume you probably look 10 times worse without both of those things on. So just be careful when you saying stuff like that, because it can go both ways. Y'all love to say it go both ways. It goes both ways.
is game over. All right, it's that makeup that is really truly deceitful nowadays. When you're looking at these women, you're not looking at the real woman. You're not looking at the real woman.
These the leaders. These 60-year-old, 55-year-old men talking like teenage boys. Saying the same. What? Men never grow up. I talked about it yesterday. Arrested development is a real thing amongst manhood. Like, that is a part of the patriarchy. You must have the arrested development to remain patriarchal. You can never grow up. You can never mature. You have to have these same antiquated discussions over and over and over again. These same stupid opinions over and over and over again. Scapegoating the Bible, scapegoating religion.
When she's out here made up, dolled up, with makeup, somebody else's hair on their head, fake fingernails, fake butts, fake tits, fake ass, fake, just fake. Every damn thing is fake about them. And it's not, no, You are a false narrative. It's bad. And I'm telling you, a woman of a meek and quiet spirit is what's of a great price in the sight of y'all. Obesity woman is not going to get you a good man. You may got some men that want to, but listen, there's nothing attractive about a woman being obese. None. And so, hey, don't
Obese. There's nothing attractive about a 50-plus-year-old man being illiterate.
complain when you've self-inflicted. It's a self-inflicted wound that you've got yourself in the condition and place that you're in right now, because you want to be there. That's what you want to do. You want to be there. So I can tell you right now, I know me as a man, I'm not doing obesity. I'm not doing it. Why? Because I'm
Being a 55-year-old single man screaming and spitting on your phone at 25-year-old women and 30-year-old women, talking about what you like and what we don't care, bro. We don't care, We don't care. Sit this one out, brother. This one not for your old ass.
on the man is my house. And I know y'all not used to talk like that, but you know what? Single women out there with sweet.
Why are you 50+ years old not married? I'm saying based on what you're saying, like the way you yapping, you gotta be married. You better have you a woman. Why can't you keep you a woman? Very curious.
Single mothers, you couldn't keep the first man because he's gone. And I don't know what makes you think in this delusion that another man is going to come and raise somebody else's children. There's just too many problems that come with it. Too many.
But some men raise your children because you ain't with you're not with the mother of your children. So who raised your children?
Many. Y'all had better wake up. I don't think you will, but you better humble yourselves because you ain't. Listen.
You better humble yourselves, aka you better allow for men like him to abuse you. You better lower your standards enough to where you can be with a man like him, because as long as y'all have high standards and as long as y'all out here trying to protect yourselves, you not gonna give a man like me a chance. That's what he's saying.
Let's look at it. Let's just tell the truth. When women age, do they decrease in value or increase in value?
They actually, now if we're talking in nature, women increase in value the older they get. And I recently came across a video. I wish I had it, but this man was talking about how menopause is proof of that. Women are so valuable that when they reach a certain age, nature says you can't have kids anymore because we need to keep you alive. We need your wisdom. We need your knowledge. Men, we can have kids forever. You think that is like the curse of women to have menopause? No. That's the blessing that's nature protecting women, right? In their older age from getting pregnant and potentially, dying or whatever in childbirth. But you useless. You can have as many kids, right? Nature said, hey, man, you can have as many kids you want. Who cares, right? Even though your swimmers ain't swimming the way they used to swim. But you can have kids, though. No, we need to protect this woman. She's so valuable right now. Nature says, no, we don't even want her having kids. So yeah, women's value increases the older they get. According to nature. That's not even my opinion. But their value increases according to nature. And you can see how why men's value don't increase. Our value goes down because now you worth less. Now you a 55-year-old man, but you still talking like a 30-year-old man. You haven't gained the knowledge you need to gain. You haven't matured the way you need to mature. So you are useless as a 55-year-old man. Listen to this 55-year-old man talk. What use does he have on planet Earth at this point? Would Earth get better or worse if he left it? I'm not wishing it upon him, man. I'm just being honest. Since he wants to bring up the worth of a woman, the older she gets, let's talk about his worth. Do you think this man is worth less or worth more at his old age right now?
Let's be honest. When men age, do they decrease in value or do they increase in value?
Decrease in value according to nature.
Because I can tell you right now, I'm a man right now that I'm sought after, and I'm not saying that because you want to levy charges that I'm arrogant. All you gotta do is ask the women themselves. I invest in myself. So don't give me that mess. My Ishas tell me all the time how fine and how beautiful and how wonderful I am. And I
Is he saying his nieces? Am I listening to this, y'all? I'm missing something. Hold on.
and how beautiful and how wonderful I am. And I got mess. My Ishas tell me all the time how fine and how beautiful and how wonderful I am. And I got 4. So don't tell me. Don't tell me. I don't care. Whatever way you look, I'm telling the truth. It cuts. It hurts.
I don't know what that word, his Ishis. I don't know what are they his wives. That's like some biblical term. I have no idea, but this dude is deranged and delusional. This is disgusting. Listening, I can't even listen to him no more. He's so goddamn weird. You a weird old man, bro. You need help. You need help. Proof in the pudding. Old men become useless. You hear Granny talking, she dropping gems. She protecting women. She like, yeah, man, the men is crazy. They was having all these babies and driving the women crazy, and the men was ruining the credit. And she dropping gems. This man get up there talking about, and another thing, you women, you need to not wear makeup and weaves and take it out. You're ugly and you're fat. Leading the young men astray per the usual.